back. Hello, internet. Jesse.
Yes, I have my 2 things of popcorn. I'm ready.
You're ready to go. And you have tons of chocolate. Do you have a drink? We want to make sure you're comfortable here.
I only drink chocolate, so we're good.
Oh, perfect. Maybe
Yeah.
a hot chocolate?
Oh my God, does that exist?
I don't even know. It does.
No, I mean, I know the concept does. I meant here.
Here it does. I don't know if it does. That would be a question for people who are not here.
Melted chocolate?
Yes.
And
a chocolate fountain. I would drink that in a heartbeat.
I would not recommend it.
No.
That would end badly for you, I think.
I think so too. So I wanted to have you on my show for the longest time.
Thank you.
Because we've known each other for quite a bit. I feel like.
Yeah.
I think 2012 was the first time we met. 2011.
God, it might even be before that.
Yeah.
I don't quite know. But I will say, I want to let everyone in on a story.
Yes, let's hear it.
I think it was last year's E3. Mm-hmm. I think. We've known each other for a long time.
We have.
And you came up to me and you said, "Hi, Jesse. My name is Naomi. I don't know if you remember me."
Really? Oh, because I didn't know if you remembered me.
And I looked at you. I'm going to just direct to camera right now.
Okay, let's do it.
I was blown away. I was like, how could you think that I could forget you? And then it must have hit me. Boy, you know a lot of awful people.
Oh, man. No, I would say, okay, I appreciate that. I appreciate you being so caring about how you affected me. Because I think you were a great friend. You were a great person to have in the sphere of YouTubers, people who know each other. But here's the thing. I think it's the Canadian in me who's always like, I don't want to assume that you know me, because that would feel like too, I don't know, like, don't you know who I am? So I try to keep it, polite. And I felt like it had been a while since we'd last spoken.
Well, it was very polite.
Thanks.
Some might say too Canadian.
Too Canadian.
Yeah,
okay.
but it was very nice.
Yeah.
Look, I'm from the Midwest, so I get it. Every time I do anything, it's like, why do you want me there, though?
Right.
Like, if you're
like me? Like,
yes.
Really?
You're like, if you want to come on, I'm like, all right, it's your show. So yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for coming on the show.
My pleasure.
Yeah, it was, and you're willing to come on Valentine's Day of all days.
Well,
which I had to check with you. I was like, hey, I know this is a thing.
The night's still young. I've got
it's true, it is early.
Hard plans to go see Sonic the movie tonight.
Wait, you're going to see it? Kyle and I are going to see it tomorrow. Yeah.
It could be great or not. I don't know.
What are your expectations? What are your thoughts about that whole thing?
I have no expectations.
Okay.
I'm not like a huge Sonic fan.
Right.
I was more of a Nintendo kid growing up, and so I never got like little speed.
I know. It's a whole other genre that I also had a blind spot to, for sure.
Yeah. I never had any sort of Genesis or anything like that, so I never was really into Sega. And so I know Sonic. I know he likes chili dogs. I know that Jaleel White played him in the 90s. But other than that, I'm not like...
Are you a Jim Carrey fan?
I hear that this Jim Carrey is like crazy old Jim Carrey.
Oh, good.
And not like crazy new Jim Carrey, so I'm very excited.
That's happy moment for me. That's like a happy moment, thinking about Jim Carrey finally going back to kind of his roots a bit.
Yeah, just having a good time. I feel bad every time I see Jim and he seems like I had a rough day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, where was the happiness?
I know.
Yeah, so.
Well, I'm going to see it because of Jim Carrey, also because of the whole hoopla, like everything that happened with the whatever they had to do to his face to make him look like actual Sonic. Yeah, I think that's something that I'm very excited to see how it be like. Is this going to be worth it in the end? Like all this, I can't believe he doesn't look like Sonic, and then they went back, they remade his design, and now the movie's out. So like we better go frickin' see this movie.
Yeah, I like that
after all the freaking hoopla that we caused.
Yeah, I like that they got the guy who has animated Sonic for years to sort of come in and fix it all. I think that's great.
What you need to do. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that they responded to the community because without them, this movie's going nowhere. And I think people learned a lot from Pokemon. And Detective Pikachu, I think, taught a lot of people about what you can do with a movie without holding people's hands. Right. Because Detective Pikachu did not explain Pokemon at all.
At all. It just assumed everyone knew, which I feel like a lot of people already know how it works. But yeah, it's true that they kind of just went with it as like, we are just going to assume everyone knows what Pokemon is.
I don't know what this is about. You wanted hot chocolate?
I got hot.
Oh my God.
This is the best show on the internet. I've never been a part of anything better. All other shows are inferior. Are you kidding me right now?
Clip that out.
Man. We're clipping that out, and we are using that to take this show to the freaking stars.
Best show ever. Oh my God, this is like real hot chocolate. Where'd this come from?
I don't know. There's like a magic.
It just got handed to me.
I'm a little wary of we know people when it comes to hot chocolate, but all right.
We know people.
We know.
We got the hookup.
We know chocolate people. You clearly must.
Yes. We've got a lot of chocolate today, especially. Oh my God.
Oh, it's so
I don't
actually
even know
hot.
To finish all of this. Oh, be careful. Yeah. Ooh, if you want to let it cool off, maybe some ice cubes. Do we know ice cubes, people?
Do we know Ice Cube people?
You need ice cubes?
Your desk, by the way.
Yes, thank you.
We need to like. Why is Harley Quinn upside down?
Okay, so this is
What is happening here?
I know, poor Harley. Well, first of all, the movie unfortunately was a flop. Not that this is related.
Yeah, what happened there?
I don't know. I think people. I have several theories, but she's upside down because unfortunately her legs are too small for her head.
That's really
so
funny.
So she falls over.
Just like me, my legs are too small for my head.
Aww.
I'm sorry.
Aww.
I made it about me. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Yeah. So just that's the story behind Harley and why she's upside down. It's the only way she'll stay up.
I've never been a big Harley Quinn fan.
Okay.
But the movie did a thing that I think I really appreciated, which was every character was like, Harley Quinn's annoying. Which I was like, oh, you get me.
You guys pointed it out.
You understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's a great character in small doses. There are many characters like that, and I'm like,
I know.
I can't.
There's many characters like that, like, you're only good on TV. Like, in real life, I would hate you.
Yeah.
Michael Scott. Like,
Sure.
Dwight, for sure.
Definitely.
Jim would irritate me, too.
Yeah.
Like, just, if you were pranking me all the time, I'd be like, let's go settle this.
I never watched The Office until last year.
Oh, what'd you think?
And I watched all of it, all the way through, and somewhere there's a tweet of me watching the first season and being like, how do people like this show? Everyone is awful.
Yeah, they're hard. It's hard to watch.
And then the more you go through, you're like, I see this is very cute.
It's heartwarming.
Yeah.
It starts off a little bit, too awkward, too much of like the original UK episodes, and then I feel like, they found their footing.
Yeah.
They found it's like wholesome.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah, everything about it, and then at a certain point, you're like off the rails again. But there's a good 5 or 6 seasons where you're like, I think this is the best show
ever made. Yeah.
And that's why they won a few Emmys, I believe.
Yeah. Also, we got you ice cubes.
We did get you. We know ice cubes people, guys.
Colin got you ice cubes.
I don't know what's going on.
I love everything about this. Unexpected, truly just a joy in my life right now.
I think we have like a wizard hanging out back, and he's just like conjuring up all these things.
You have a wizard?
I don't know. That's my guess.
Best show on the internet.
Wizard
love approved.
Bring it on. Bring on all the praise. We will take it. Any questions for Jesse, guys? Remember, in chat, you guys are here to hang with us. We're having chocolate and hot chocolate and ice cubes.
Do they have an ice cube guy? Yes, they do.
We do.
They have an ice cube guy.
Beertastic, we do. Cool. So I guess I wanted to talk about your new project.
Given
that it is
okay.
Well, yeah, because it is kind of the perfect timing. Smart call on bringing it out today.
Thank you. I try.
I bet you did that on purpose because you are producing it, right?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me how this whole project came to be and how you got into producing games in the first place.
Yeah. So a few years ago, just going back in time, I play weird games on the internet.
Yeah.
Right? That's like what I do. I keep looking directly to camera like I'm broadcasting on a stream.
It's normal.
I can't stop
it's like
it.
Your
I keep
MO.
Hi.
It's typical Jesse.
It's weird is what it is.
Yeah.
But anyway, so years ago, I played a game called Monster Prom, and it was very nice. It was a silly game where you play as monsters in high school that are like 400 years old for some reason.
Okay.
And you have to date a monster at prom, and then you win.
Okay.
And it's a competitive dating sim, and I was like, this is ridiculous. So I contacted the devs and was like, what do I have to do to be a part of this? And
really?
They were like, well, money is what you have to do. And I was like, all right. And so
I'll bring out the money bags.
And so I joined as producer for that.
Okay.
And I loved it, and I was like, this is incredibly fun. I got to see the behind the scenes of like video game production, how it all works, and then promotion, and dealing with all of the stuff that happens launch week, which is insane.
Right.
And then
When
afterwards,
is launch? Do we have that?
well, so Monster Prom was the original one.
Right.
It's out right now. Buy it. I think today they released a delightful Valentine's Day thing. But the new one,
Okay.
Max Gentleman, Sexy Business is the name of it.
Did you title this?
No,
Okay.
no. This again was another game that I discovered that was in the process of like showing a demo, and I was like, I would love to be a part of this one. And so I messaged them and jumped on board and worked with them to make the voice cast what it is. And the voice cast is incredible. It's bonkers.
Okay.
It's truly nuts.
It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Judging by the trailer, which we do have, by the way, so we will be showing it.
It's very good. I can't believe that we
It's
had.
kooky.
Yeah, it's
Cookie's kind of the word I gravitate towards.
It's a Victorian tycoon dating simulator. So if you've ever said to yourself, man, I want to live in Victorian England and run a business that runs other businesses into the ground at the same time while wooing my competition,
This is the game.
this is the game for you.
So I want to know more about this game. Let's actually throw to, if we can, the trailer, just so people can get a sense. And so to be clear, this first game. What was the first game called again?
First game is Monster Prom. It's
Monster
out
Prom.
now. It's been out for a while. It features all of your favorite
Celebrities,
Internet personalities. Yeah.
Are you in it?
I am. I play Blobbert.
Okay.
He's a little blob boy, and he's the nicest person in school.
Okay.
He's not a monster. He's a sweetheart.
He's a nice guy.
And I play the Wolfpack, who are
The Wolf Pack. Okay.
awful jocks who are lovely. And then in this one,
Yeah. Are you a voice in this one?
I am not. We actually got real professional voice actors. People, when you hear the cast, you'll be like,
Okay.
Yeah,
So
so-
what, like Troy Baker? Who did you get?
I'm not gonna spoil nothing.
Okay, so people have to look it up online, or is
They'll
it
be-
mentioned in the trailer?
Well, the game is coming out on the 25th.
Oh, okay, so soon.
So you'll see all the cast. I don't want to spoil nothing. I want it to blow people away. And they'll be like, I can't believe you got people to do this.
That makes you a good producer, though. That's like
Yeah.
half the battle.
Yeah, getting it done.
Yeah.
Like getting people to do something, like spend time out of their day to do something.
Sure.
Yeah, it makes
that's
it really
a lot
hard.
of work.
Well, I think I've got some. It is really hard. I got some instructions that we need to stretch it out a little longer because
Definitely.
there's some stuff going
Totally
on.
fine
I
by
think,
that.
Sure, I can.
We're pulling
Where
up
we
the
stretching?
trailer as we
we
speak.
call it
Stretching.
we call it riffing.
Riffing.
Ah, yeah, I
Riffing.
can riff.
That's
We're
showbiz,
riffing.
baby. That's showbiz.
What are we riffing on?
Well, I did want to talk about how you. Do people know your origin story?
My origin story?
Like how
A radioactive
Jesse Cox
spider
became
bit me years ago.
Okay.
But the radioactive spider only played YouTube, and it was weird.
Yeah.
Well, I have a hard time believing that there are radioactive spiders out there.
I like that you're like, well, if they are radioactive, they might as well be streamers.
Right.
Right? I figure like, you're okay with that
I'm
concept.
okay with that mentality. It's the other
Sure.
part. That's
Right,
also
right,
great.
right.
Yeah, yeah. Well, tell me where it all started. So you say you're from the Midwest?
I am, yeah.
Okay.
Originally from Ohio. And I went off to school in New York and had a massive culture shock, and it was great.
What did you want to do in New York? What did you go to school for?
I went to school originally, I did theater, and I double majored in theater and history.
You would do theater.
So
You
two
would.
utterly, like, completely useless degrees.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I went back to Ohio and taught. And so I was a teacher for a few years. And
What did you teach?
I taught history, but mostly what we would call oh my God, what was the actual title of it? It was the combination of history and English,
Okay.
which was, they had to like give it a new title.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I would have to make lesson plans that were like, here's the history thing, and then a book associated with it.
Now read the book. Here's some homework.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
incredibly unfun for students, so I had
And
to
how long
make
did
it
you
more
do
fun.
that, you said?
3, almost 4 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I ended teaching in 2010, which was right around the time I started making videos.
Right, that was not too long after we met, actually. Okay, so then you started making videos from out of Ohio.
No,
Or you
I
moved?
was jobless. I had no money. I had to sell everything I owned, moved back in with my parents at 29.
Really?
Yeah,
Holy
so
cow.
that's my, hey, internet, I know you're probably like 25 and you think the world's ending. It'll be all right.
You'll
Trust
survive.
me, you'll do fine.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, and so I moved back home. I had nothing but a computer and clothes, and made stuff at home. And within a year, was in LA.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was the move to LA because you were getting so much success online?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was. I probably should go to LA and be involved with things, so I can be on shows like this.
Yeah.
And do stuff.
So now you've been here a while. I do have the trailer. We're gonna get to.
You're good to roll.
We're good to roll on the trailer.
You guys stretched
Yay!
really well.
Okay. So this is actually my first time watching it with sound. So I wasn't able to watch it with sound when I watched it today. So give us. You already gave us kind of the elevator pitch.
Yeah.
Do you want to prep anyone else before seeing this?
Just know that it's very silly, and it's not at all serious. The whole thing is a goof on dating sims, but at the same time, it's like a tycoon game, and it's, we're having fun. It's you trying to seduce people in the 18th century.
All right.
19th century.
19th century. Okay.
1800s. 19th century.
The 1800s. All right. Let's check it out.
Boss, wake up, boss. You fell asleep at your desk again. Let's go over today's agenda. We're about to go bankrupt.
Here, boss! Your tea is ready! Also, your rivals are outside.
It's time to get down to business. How about thee?
Yes, good show!
Shall we start the day? Create your very own gent soda.
What impeccable style you have, boss! Grow your business by assigning your executives to various tasks to earn resources, train skills, and defeat rival companies.
Don't forget to buy more money. It's time for your date.
Oh, we won't be jousting each other. No. We'll be jousting this oncoming train.
Tonight we shall summon the spirit of Zirconiacs, an angel cast down to hell for being too good at sex. You can unlock all sorts of sexy art and costumes for your executives. And you've got full control over the sexiness of your experience.
You won't see any naughty bits you don't want to, boss.
There are so many aspects of being a Victorian tycoon for you to unlock and master.
It is time for your afternoon cavorting, boss. What gaiety shall you partake in today? Max, gentlemen, sexy business.
Max, gentlemen, sexy business.
Yeah. Probably should have warned people.
Were our
Well, I
mics
did-
live during
I-
that? Could they hear me say sold?
No.
Okay.
I
You
was
can always
saying,
say it again.
Yeah,
That's fine.
the first scenes, I was like, sold!
Sold.
Yeah.
Sold.
Perfect. I'm on board.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that seems very like a complex game. Have you had a chance to play with it?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's your experience been like?
It is straight up just it has a very civilization vibe to
Oh,
it,
okay.
and that you're
Yeah, 'cause
always
I
like
saw
one
the-
more turn, one more
town.
like.
Yeah.
The gameplay wise, it's not at all like that, but it has that attitude of like, all right, I just want more turn. I got to see
Right.
what happens, and it's a very fun, ridiculous. I don't know, like a romp back in time, but done in a way that is. Just as an example, the opening of the game is you have come back from a trip.
Okay.
And you have to explain to all of your servants where you've been, and they have to send a letter out to let everyone know what their great leader has been doing the entire time. And the options are everything from I rescued a cat in a tree to all sorts of things, and it's more and more ridiculous as it goes on.
You can tell just from the trailer too.
It's very silly.
Yeah, and how you guys present it too. It's like it's obviously meant to be taken in a
It's satire. Yes.
tongue-in-cheek kind of way. Cheeks. We saw some cheeks.
I mean.
Some booty cheeks.
Some booty cheeks. I guess we should have prefaced it a little bit, but it is Valentine's Day.
It's fine.
It's all about love, really.
I was a
Heart and
teacher.
soul of it.
I wouldn't do anything terrible.
Actually, that's interesting that you're doing game production now, because I didn't know that that's something you were doing. How long were you in production for this?
This was going on long before I joined in production.
Okay.
So I know that I've been with them for.
Them being the production company.
Yes, the men who
What are they
wear
called? The men who
all
wear-
of those hats. Yes.
The men who wear all of those hats. Okay, where did you meet those guys?
I've known them for years. They are wonderful, and they have made games like Oregon Trail.
Oh, yeah.
And they had the original Max Gentleman, which was just a game where you stacked hats. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I see them all the time, and they're lovely. And
they're based out of LA.
No, they are not.
So you have to work remote, emails.
Yeah. So when we did the voiceover sessions, we did. They would dial in, and then I'd be there, and then our director, who was lovely, who I'm not going to spoil. She'll be in the credits. We'll be there. And yeah, it was great.
I can't wait to find out who the voice actors are. Have people already made guesses?
I hope not, because they are wrong. They'll be totally wrong.
Everyone's wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, so for all the guesses on the internet, completely wrong.
I will say that as of today, some of those voice actors have gotten like major awards.
Really?
Yeah,
the ones
one
in
of them,
the game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
One of them is straight up a voice that everyone should recognize on planet Earth if they play video games. Like, it's just...
Okay, I'll have to rewatch the trailer and really put my ear caps on.
You should. You should.
Yeah. All right, so now that you're into game production, is that something you're going to be doing a lot more of?
I hope. I think that's the plan. I want to... I'm very particular about what I choose. Mm-hmm. And so the next thing I'm working on is a FMV horror game.
Oh, that's totally up your alley.
Yeah, that is based, the premise is around a group of streamers who go to the UK to live stream them hunting a ghost.
Oh my God.
And it obviously takes a wrong turn at some point. Yeah.
And there are actual ghosts.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. So
okay. Maybe some monsters?
The biggest monster is the process of writing a game.
You're writing in this one.
Yes.
So you didn't write in this one we just saw.
No.
Sorry, I keep forgetting. So what's the title again? Max Gentleman Sexy Business. Sorry, it's a long title. I'll get it.
It's
I
great.
promise.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now this game you're actually writing.
Yes.
But you're helping on production as well.
Yes.
Managing the VO cast, same kind of thing?
Well, it's going to be live action.
Okay.
So it's going to be real actors.
Oh, okay.
Doing their thing.
Okay.
I won't be involved with that part because I don't.
Okay, so
I have no talent when it comes to that. I'll be like.
Wait, did I miss that? It's not a game?
No, it's a full motion video game, like the old school games back in the day.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. Mm-hmm. Tell me more. Can you?
Well, I mean, imagine if you played Bandersnatch that was on Netflix.
Yeah.
Like that, except a little more complicated.
Okay.
And so there are a lot more options, and with that comes learning how to do all of the scripting and like programming stuff. Mm-hmm.
It's a lot.
That stinks. That's terrible.
But it's your first one you're doing like this.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's kind of, you're taking a risk by doing this, but you're going to learn so much along the way.
Well, here's the thing. I've learned that I don't care.
Okay.
I somehow have
Things work out for you.
Yeah, even when they don't. I just got it in my head that like do things that are fun.
Yeah.
And enjoy it while you can. And so that's where I'm at mentally. I'm going to do something wild, and like the game you just saw, and Monster Prom before it, and this next game that has no title, that is called Scary Game.
Okay, just Scary Game.
Yeah, and so that'll be
So it sounds like you've adopted the mentality of like, it's okay to fail.
Always. Oh, please, I fail all the time.
Okay.
Constantly.
So what have been some failures along the way that you've learned
Failures? Oh, can I tell you?
Or challenges you've overcome?
Can I tell you my most recent one?
Yes.
That I learned a valuable lesson.
I want to know.
I'm going to give you some background. We're going to dig deep for a minute.
Yeah, I'd love that. That.
So, recently, I do a show called, well, I have many shows, but it's like the Gentleman's Game, like gaming show that we do.
You're big on gentlemen. The word gentleman seems to follow you.
It's kind of like a goof.
Okay.
Because I'm definitely not. And so, in this one episode that we did about the game Control.
Yeah.
We straight up reached out to the lead actress.
Okay.
We filmed the entire opening segment like it was in Control.
Wow.
Did a whole day shoot. It was incredible. Visually, it's mind-blowing. We got, when the video came out, I got everyone and their brother to tweet about this video. I was like, y'all, blow this thing up.
We're going hard.
Yeah. I was like, we spent untold sums on this. We went really crazy. Like, everyone, make this thing popular. And
I love that approach. Just throw it at the wall and see what happens.
Yeah, and so all these people tweeted it, and like websites and things picked it up, and at a certain point during the day, you could see the video views increase, and then it stopped and flatlined.
Oh.
We were like, what
Happened.
happened here?
YouTube algorithm. Just
Yes.
blame it on that.
Well, here's what happened. I learned afterwards because I was very upset. As I'm sure, I was like, I worked so hard on this, and it's like nobody even cares. Turns out what happens is all those people tweeting, they sent it off to all of their fan base or whatever. And when people would go watch, they would watch for, like, let's say you're a fan of the main actress.
Right.
They'd watch for just her part and then
Okay.
click off. Or if they were sent by a fan, they would watch and it was either for them or not.
Okay.
And so what ended up happening is people would watch, let's say the first 2 minutes on average. The algorithm was like, oh, well, people can barely make it through 2 minutes. Obviously, this is a terrible video.
Right.
And stop sending it to people.
Oh, okay.
And so I was like, what?
yeah.
And there's nothing you can do about it at that point.
Because it's just,
The machine was like, must be bad.
it knew, right. Okay, so it is a kind of an algorithm
Yeah.
situation.
And it was like, what a massive failure.
Yeah.
We spent so much time doing this, and it was like, no, people don't like it. But it didn't factor in that we had basically by promoting it
Yeah.
so heavily.
It did well.
It negated it being like it's the opposite of what you think would
I
happen.
see what you're saying. Because you promoted it, it caused this.
Yeah, because it was so
backlash.
heavily promoted.
Wow.
And so many people clicked it, but many people were like, not for me. YouTube is
so
like,
oh man, so it's not actually a good approach if you want to get the word out. Just get a bunch of people to tweet it out to their following, because then it'll backfire.
I'll be
it
real.
Needs to organically grow.
yeah, I truly don't know how anything works.
Yeah.
I have no.
Can't win.
I
There's
just
no
learned
winning.
life
There's no
lessons.
way to game the system or anything.
There clearly is, because people are doing it all the time.
Yeah, some people.
But not me. I fail at it, and
Well,
so
maybe the content just could have been better.
Here's the thing. I think it always could be. You joke. Anything I do, I will leave here today, walk out into that hall, and be like, I could have done better.
Oh man.
You joke, but that's how I operate
I mean,
all
that's
the time.
how I operate too in a lot of ways. I'm the same in that I'm always going to be the most critical of how, like, what I contributed. Like, is there something I could have done better? Could I have done more?
Absolutely.
But it's kind of the name of the game, because it is, in the end, it's a creative field.
Yeah.
And you always have to be competing with other people and yourself.
And that's why Hollywood's the worst, because everywhere you go, they'll be like, great job, you did good. You did so good. And you're like, are you lying to me?
Yeah. Do you just say this to everybody?
Do you want me to leave? Is that why you're saying this? Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's always what I think.
Oh, I'm interested in this question here on the post. Oh yeah, what attracted you to working just on a game? We're not going to say the last part.
Yeah.
Come on.
With what attracted me to working on the game is
Or just games in general, because like I get that you're a fan of games.
Sure.
So is the goal for Jesse to become the game producer, like Jesse Cox, the game producer?
No, it's just like I said, something I do for.
You like creating.
Yeah, I made
what's
my
your
own
thing?
convention just for the sake of making a
That's true,
convention,
you did
right?
that.
I do things just to do it. And so when it came to this game, and it came to many of the things that I've done in my life, I was just sort of like, a goof happened.
Yeah.
And then the goof blossomed into something else. So when it came to Max Gentleman and Monster Prom, the original goof was I was on a podcast and said I really wanted to make a dating sim about a person going to a convention, and then all the people you meet there you think are cosplayers, but they're really just, monsters and terrible things. And
they're bait.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
the goof at the end is no matter who you picked, you'd go up to their hotel room and it would just be me, always, all the time. I'd be like, come on in. And it'd be like a really awkward, weird ending. And so that was the goof I had on the podcast. And then I played Monster Prom and was like, I need to be a part of this game.
You're like,
And then
this is kind of what I was getting at.
Yeah, and then Max Gentleman, I was like, I need to be a part of this game. And so the FMV game is just because I love FMV. I love old, weird, kind of terrible B acting.
Yeah.
And, the convention I did was just because I wanted to do a convention. And I did it. And we did it for 5 years. And it was...
And now it's not happening anymore.
No. My money is now making games that may or may not be good.
Okay. Well, I
yeah.
like that, you're entering these new avenues and you're trying a bunch of different things, too. Was that something that was always part of your channel, like the way that you grew your channel?
Man, I want to give all the credit for my channel and everything I do growing to other people.
Okay.
Because, if it wasn't for doing the Terraria series I did with Total Biscuit way back in the day, it wouldn't have grown the way it did. If it wasn't for the Resident Evil playthroughs I did with Cry, it wouldn't have grown the way it did. So, as much as I want to take credit, I won't, because I'm like, I had a lot of great people along the way help me to grow what I had. And I think the same thing with all these games. I'm not making the games. I'm just like, here's what I would do.
Here are my ideas.
Yeah, and then genius people put it together, and I'm just involved. I don't, I show up and I'm like, I'm the producer, right?
Would you ever take on coding?
Having seen what it requires, no.
It's so tough.
No.
It's so tough.
I've
also seen the back end. It's tough. It seems, well, it takes a certain type of person. A person who's got the patience and very, into the minutia of what ends up happening with the code in the back end. It's so complex.
Yeah, absolutely.
And not to mention learning coding is a whole other beast. So you basically have to go back to school, learn how to do it, and then hopefully you're good at it. But that's a hope. You don't really know.
Yeah, I would not. I have no hope of that.
Okay.
I'm very positive.
You're sticking to the creative storytelling stuff.
Yeah, I've always said that if you need someone to give you ideas for a story, I'll gladly do it, but don't ask me to write the story.
Right.
I can't do the minute by minute, but I'll give you the overarching thing.
How did you get involved in the Good Game? That was so. Just to let people know, I was in the Good Game actually. I don't know if you remember.
I do.
Me being polite again. But yeah, so that show, it was a YouTube Red show.
Yeah.
It was based on these characters that you guys created with Michelle Morrow. So it was you and Michelle Morrow's kind of baby, right?
Yeah. We would meet in her weird loft attic area and sit down and just write out this story that was based off the fact that, again, I do weird things for fun. I made an esports team for a year. Why? I don't know.
For fun.
For fun. And so it was based off my experience with that. I hated it. It was unpleasant. And then all of her time doing the on-camera stuff for esports. And so we made this show about
Face of the
team.
World.
Yeah. And it was wild. It was super fun. We got the Game Grumps to be the stars of the show. And we had all these great actors.
Cameos.
Yeah. A ton of cameos from the community. It was a ton of fun.
Yeah. How long was production on that? I forget.
Production total. The pre-production was maybe 6 months.
Okay.
And but the script writing, all that stuff was like a year before that, and then the actual shoot was 28 days.
Oh wow.
And then post-production was from April until whenever in the fall it released.
All right.
Yeah.
And it's still available on YouTube Red if you guys want to watch it.
It is very much. The first episode is free. It's on the Game Grumps thing if you want to watch that.
It was cool. It was a cool project to be a part of.
Yeah.
I was there for a day, but it was so awesome.
I play a character that's based off of Notch. Really?
Really? Yeah.
Really, it's what that character is.
Yeah, that's true. That's how I would. Yeah, that's exactly how I would picture it. You're right. Was there?
I mean, that's
it's
people
true.
are like, how do you describe it? I'm like, I think I was Notch.
I think that's like where I was. Aligned with. When I was aligned with him. Are there any other projects like that down the road for you?
Maybe.
I
don't think I can talk about it.
Oh,
but yeah,
okay. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, the great thing is now there's so many streaming platforms. Like there was YouTube Red at the time, but now there's so like Quibi and all these other ones popping up that are just in need of content. So it's a perfect opportunity for people like us to go out there and start making shit.
Yeah.
I owe $1 to the swear jar.
You can use one of my credit. That's fine.
Okay, I'll just add a credit. By the way, we'll have you sign this after.
Great.
But you haven't been swearing. You've been great.
I can turn it on. I can turn it off.
You're good.
What some might call a professional.
A professional. All that stuff that you learned in acting school.
And teaching.
And teaching.
Yeah, you can't swear at kids, I found out.
That's a good point.
Although one time I did, and it felt great.
Really?
They were being bad. They were bad students, and I was in there. I had to go talk to the principal afterwards, and I gave him like a lecture about why I had to. Oh, it was fun.
Good times. So actually teaching might be something you'd go back to in the future?
Never.
Okay.
I'd rather walk into the ocean and let the tide take me because it is the toughest job on the planet.
It's so hard. Not to mention it's not like high paying or anything.
No.
Like, it's really it's really tough.
If I had to say anything, it's if you're a teacher out there or know a teacher, thank them. They're babysitting and raising your kid.
Yeah.
so you don't have to during the day. They are doing great things, and they're making them smarter. Fingers crossed, maybe.
We'll hope. That's the hope. All right, let's see here in chat. I think I heard Prozd in the trailer.
He is in Monster Prom for sure, but I can't confirm or deny that he is in.
Cannot confirm or deny. Okay. Yeah. We've got some real secretive stuff going on
I'm
here.
trying. I don't know what I'm allowed to say, so I...
Yeah. As a producer, you kind of have to tread that line.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess I want to get into some more topical stuff, because you are pretty opinionated.
Oh, I have opinions.
Yeah, and you have I'm sure you're super well-versed in the gaming world in a lot of ways, like I am.
Oh, I try.
Do you consider yourself like a gaming expert, editorially, or any sort of thing like that? I don't know. Or just an opinion, like more like a, I don't know, guy who goes on CNN and has an opinion about stuff.
One time, can I tell you one time
Joe Rogan type?
I was asked to go on, I think it was CNN or MSNBC, one of them, because they were doing a show. It was one of the weekend talk shows about internet privacy.
Oh.
And they were like, would you like to be on? And I was like, well, what's the question you would ask me? And they're like, well, you tweeted. They sent me a tweet from, I think, 4 years ago.
Oh my God.
That said, I don't care if the internet is spying on what I do. If they want to see my tentacle hentai, that's fine. I think there's like a goof.
Right, yeah.
And they were like, we'd like you to come on and comment on this. I was like, no, I'm good.
Right. So then you skipped out on that.
Yeah, I was like, no, I'm fine.
But when it comes to your YouTube content, would you say that you have opinions about things? Do you
I always have opinions, yeah.
I know, yeah. So then I guess it's leading into my other question, which is when it comes to this new next-gen console, do you have any predictions as to what we might get to see?
Are we talking both Xbox and PlayStation?
Sure.
I think I have to like mentally prepare.
Yeah, prepare yourself.
I think PlayStation will continue to just dominate. I'm curious if they're going to backwards compatible. They always seem to hint they're going to do that and then never do it.
Okay.
We'll see. If they do, that will be huge.
Yeah.
But at the same time, sometimes old games, you go back and play them and you're like, ooh.
There's a reason we're not playing these
anymore. Shouldn't have done this. Yeah. We'll see. I think Xbox has the right attitude in what they're doing. I like that they're walking that fine line between computer and console.
Yeah.
Because I'm not even going to lie. Any Xbox game I have, I play on computer now.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can just get it on the store.
There's not a lot of
play it on the
PlayStation
computer
or Xbox exclusives that are that compelling.
Right.
To get the console for that.
But
it's usually just for media. Like what I have always touted is I use my Xbox for media and then my PlayStation for other things. For other games.
The Xbox is right next to my TV, and it is just for movies and downloading movies.
Yeah.
And everything that is Xbox exclusive or something where it's, you got to play it on Xbox, they have, at first I was like, what a dumb idea. You're cannibalizing your own market. I will always admit when I'm wrong. I was way off. I use all those Xbox games on my computer because it's just easier. And I can sometimes use a mouse and keyboard, which is just great.
So much better.
When they were like, you can play Halo with a mouse and keyboard, it's like, shut up, finally.
Yes. I totally played that, by the way. It was good. Did you play a ton of that?
Halo's always
good. What have you been playing now? Have you been playing anything crazy?
I just got done playing through Control about 1 million times.
What?
I love Control. I love that game. It's one of my favorites.
I did play it quite heavily. Actually, for this show, I played it as a live stream, but I do think that I don't know if I'd replay it because it's too dark.
Yeah. Oh, I love weird.
It's super weird.
I love weird stuff.
Yeah.
Weird things are the best things.
Yeah. And not to mention the story's so complex and
yes.
And it's creepy.
Do you know what SCP is?
I feel like I've heard it.
I'm sure you have. There are games that exist. It's this, imagine like a Reddit, but for cryptids and paranormal and weird stuff.
Ooh.
So it's like they made a website that is a fake government bureau, a bureaucracy.
I've never heard of this.
And they have, SCP-0001, and at one point in time it was blank.
Okay.
And then someone came along and made a post and a story about, let's say it's a cup of hot chocolate that when you drink it, it burns someone else's mouth. That's really dumb, but let's say that's what it was.
That's what it was, yeah.
That would be that one. They'd post the whole thing. They might post photos, and then they'd post little addendums like test subject, you know, and it's just this weird thing.
Creepy.
And now there are thousands and thousands and thousands of them, and they range from, oh, that was silly and fun, to, oh my God, this is terrifying.
Right.
And it's a super fun read. It's very weird, and that is literally what Control is.
Okay.
Control's just the video game version of what if you had to work at a place like that?
Right, right.
It's great.
I mean, it's a really good game, and no wonder it's won a bunch of awards and everything.
I love it.
And it plays really well. It crashed on me a couple times. I was a bit bummed about
Were you playing
that,
on a console?
No, on PC.
Yeah, I had some issues with DirectX when it first came
really?
out. Yeah, DirectX 12 was not working.
Ugh.
It works now, looks amazing, but at the time it didn't.
It didn't at the time.
Yeah.
So that's your latest go-to game that you've been playing.
Well, I'm a liar if I say my latest go-to. Go-to is always Civilization. Always.
Really? Well, hold up.
love
Kyle's
it.
not in here. He's a diehard of Civ.
I can't,
He loves
if I'm
Civ.
doing anything, if I'm rendering a video in the background or just bored,
You're always playing Civ.
I'll load it up and be like, who shall I be today? Random. And I don't know why, I love it.
It's great.
It's a game about world politics and civilization building, and I turn my brain off, which I feel like says a lot about us as a society.
No, I know. Well, it makes sense to have that escape, first and foremost. That's why we love games in a lot of ways. But I'm the same with Sims. I like that game. I kind of go back to it when I'm like, I don't want anything too complicated. I just want to hop in and hop out. And so I'll play a bit of Sims, or I'll play City Skylines, which I love.
That is... same thing, just like SimCity.
Yeah, it's the same kind of thing. All right, what are your thoughts on politics being in gaming? So that was a discussion we had earlier. I don't know if you were here. Maybe not.
That was the big news this week.
That was big news
politics
this
and
week.
gaming.
Yeah. Do you find that that's something that, what's your whole perspective on that conversation?
I tend to go with the Rush version of reality.
Yeah.
Which is by saying you don't want politics and gaming, you're expressing an opinion about the same thing.
That is true.
And so, yeah, I feel like most games reflect the world that we are in.
That's true.
And to not at least some way acknowledge what's happening in the world, I think kind of is a detriment to your game. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it depends what game it is, right?
It's not with everything.
Yeah, it'd be weird if Mario showed up in a Bernie shirt.
Yeah.
It'd be strange.
It'd be super weird.
Yeah. But, I think there are many games where you can...
It kind of calls for that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if there's a good example of a game out right now that's politicized to that extreme. I just know that in terms of art, and as an art, games having certain art elements to it.
Yeah.
That, even in shows nowadays, to not be able to reference or refer to things, even just in off-the-cuff dialogue or something, you have to still bring it in at some point. I feel like it's just a reflection of whoever's writing it, where people are at in their mindset, and it helps as like you said, kind of a release, Yeah,
I think that it's okay to dislike games if they don't reflect your own beliefs. Mm-hmm. But you shouldn't, as a writer, be like, oh, I want everyone to like my game.
Right.
Tell your story, and you will find a passionate audience who loves it.
That's
and
right.
it's fine to have people who are like, well, it doesn't reflect my worldview. All right, whatever.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people who are diehard Star Trek or diehard Star Wars. Yeah. It's same thing.
We can have both, it turns out. It's crazy.
We can have a plethora of things.
Yeah.
And everyone will find an audience, and it'll be a happy world.
In the span of 12 months, I got Baby Yoda and Picard back. So,
really?
I'm feeling great.
You're feeling happy.
Everything's great in my life. I got everything I wanted.
I would love to hear your thoughts about Picard then. Given that we have discussed about the show a little bit on the
I watched episode 1.
Okay.
And then I stopped watching.
Me too.
Not because I don't want to watch anymore.
I did the same.
But because I'm I'm going to binge this.
Yeah.
So
let's wait till it comes out. And then we'll just watch it all the way through.
There are a lot of shows that I found that I don't understand how they could be weekly shows. Mm-hmm. A great example is The Good Place.
Yeah. That needs to be binged.
Yeah, I've never seen The Good Place. Sat down last year, started watching it. I was like, before the final season, I guess I'll check it out.
Right.
Blew through every episode in a weekend.
So good.
And I can't believe people had to wait weeks and then years to
Yeah.
see this stuff, because every episode is a continuation of the previous
It's building
one.
off the other one, yeah.
And I don't know how you would possibly enjoy it. And I feel like Picard will be the same way.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So that's what a lot of people were saying, actually, that it's one of those shows that now it's weekly, which people might not fully grasp, the storyline, everything that's going on. So to have it in a bingeable kind of way would be smart. And I agree that they should have done that. And I did the same thing with Star Trek Discovery. I waited till it fully came out, and then I watched it all the way through. And I enjoyed it so much.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people, it was the internet, so I heard a lot of people being like, Discovery sucks. And I was like, I have no reason to,
if you watch it consecutively, it actually makes sense.
Well, that's what I discovered.
Not liking it, because you end up liking the characters so much, and I don't know, just like being in their world and understanding them more in a quick kind of, like a bite-sized kind of way, makes it better. Yeah,
I had the exact same impression. I watched it all back to back and was like, I actually like this.
Yeah.
And so there you go, internet. I've outed myself as liking Discovery.
Yay! So. And Picard. So the whole shebang.
Yeah,
everything.
I like nerdy stuff, even when it's awful. Even sometimes when it's terrible. I mean.
All right, thoughts on Game of Thrones?
I
need to know.
Boy.
You definitely watched that.
Yes, I've also read the books, so
So you have even deeper opinions.
Going into season 5 or 6, whatever one it was, I knew we were going off the rails to begin with.
Right.
Because once there's no Martin tracks to be on, I was like, where are we going?
Yeah.
So I never had really high expectations, but boy, that last season should be a lesson to, I think, anyone developing any kind of show or making a story or anything. What you saw was them being like, we have an end point we need to get to. How do we get there?
Yeah.
Rather than let's see where these characters go, they forced all the characters in a direction. And at the end, it was like, oh, okay. I think after the Battle of Winterfell, I was like, all right.
Yeah.
I really don't care what happens now. So when the ending happened, I was like,
and they didn't stay true to a lot of the characters.
No, no.
And how they were and how they had expressed themselves throughout the whole seasons. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that they did what they did because they wanted to get out so they could start writing a Star Wars movie, and then they quit the Star Wars movie.
I know. Oh, well.
So upsetting.
I know.
So upsetting.
So upsetting. All right, let's see some comments here. Maybe Discovery is a good show, just not Star Trek vibes?
I can feel that.
I can feel it as a completely different show. Like, separate from what you know at Star Trek, it lives good on its own.
Who was that had said that? Who was that?
I missed the name. Let's see.
The person who just made me... Gamer fan.
All right. JK Gamer. GK.
I just had the biggest revelation. Thank you. It is Stargate.
Oh my God.
There was Stargate SG-1, Stargate Atlantis, and then there were like Stargate Infinity, whatever that last one was.
Yeah.
And it was, that show did not have Stargate vibes. That show was a show where like the first season, every episode was them being like, we have to repair the oxygen. Next episode's like, we have to repair the water. And it wasn't until season 2 where like, oh my God, this show's amazing. So I can see that. I can see how you would say it's not Star Trek.
Right.
But it's in the universe.
It's in the universe.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, it's a good way to look at it, actually. Keyboard, mouse trumps controller.
Yeah,
well, I mean, gamer.
I'm with you. It depends on the game. If it's a platformer,
different story.
Yeah.
Totally. And I mean, there's so many games too that I play on PC. I'm like, I just wish this was on the Switch.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Like, oh my God. Like Temtem is a perfect example.
That game is...
It's great on PC, but it'd be so much better on Switch.
So good, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you've been playing it? Mm-hmm. Ooh. How far are you into it?
Not very.
Okay.
I did some for a stream and was like, well, that was fun.
Yeah.
And the problem is if I start a game on a stream, I always assume in my mind I'll finish it on a stream. Mm-hmm. And then days go by when I don't touch it.
Don't touch it.
And I'm like, one day I'll stream that again.
Yeah. Never gonna happen.
Yeah.
Oh, I did have some questions about how you go about doing that. How do you plan your content? Because you do it all yourself right now, right?
Yeah.
And are you working, do you have a whole team of people? Like, are you an institution? Like, what is your, was this a wrong, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, you have a team of people.
Yeah. I have.
Am I regretting asking this question?
No,
okay.
Everyone I feel like has plans.
Yeah.
And I never do.
You're just like, I'm gonna do this because I wanna.
Yeah, which
is great too.
It's also a problem.
Okay.
Because you know, you're always just like, yeah, I'll do that today. And then the day flies by, and you're like, oh, I should have done that today.
Yeah.
I'll do it tomorrow.
Or I had this other thing to do.
Yeah, and then the next day comes, you're like, oh man, I got stuff to do. All right, I'll get back to that. And then weeks go by.
Oh man.
And so, yeah, I need an actual human being to come in and just
direct you a bit.
yeah. Hey, if you're out there and
like,
want to just
doing
run
this,
my
you're
life,
not doing this.
boy, would that be great.
That'd be nice, right?
I need constraints.
Yeah.
I have none. The collar's off. I have no leash. I can do whatever I want, and it's
and
bad.
it's not good for creativity. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
they say. They say that a lot of creatives lose their, you know, whatever magic that they are able to create, because eventually they come to the point where everything's too easy.
Sure.
And they have no one telling them no. You know, like, it's what, I mean, I'm sure it happens in some microcosm kind of way, you know, kind of how we see it in Hollywood, but for content creators.
Sure. Well, I'm told no constantly, so no fear of that ever happening.
Oh, okay, okay.
People are always
Well,
like,
you know
that's
what I
a
mean.
terrible
or
idea.
Maybe you're telling yourself no,
Yeah.
or you have restrictions on like what you have to do now versus what you can't or would rather do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
get what I mean.
There's a lot of yes people in our delightful industry.
There is.
Yeah.
I have something to give you.
What?
Yes. So we have these Last Week in Gaming mugs.
Yes.
And I'm going to give you one because you're the best. And I figured
what?
you could have
Undeservedly
a little
so.
something to selfishly promote it on your own channels. No, I'm just kidding. You don't have to do that. This is just a gift.
No, I'm
because you're a
opening
guest
it
on my
right
show.
now.
We're doing some unboxings.
A mug for a plug.
A mug for a plug. Well, so it's more just because we got a bunch of these and I need to give them out. They need to live somewhere. Yay! Last Week in Gaming merch. Isn't it cute, though?
A nice mug
It's
to fill
actually
with
a
hot
really
chocolate.
nice mug. Like, I'm very proud of
Yeah,
myself.
it's good quality.
Good quality mug.
High quality mug.
Yeah, nice mug you can fill with hot chocolate. There you go.
I do love this. It's actually any mug that has sort of like the different color on the inside.
It's
For some
magic.
reason, I'm like, that's a high quality mug.
It's attractive.
I don't know why, but
That's the thing.
yeah,
an
you also could
attractive
do
mug.
like Bane voices, like,
Oh, is this how you do it?
Hello.
I am your father.
No, you're not. That'd be weird.
I'm not. Your name is not Luke.
No.
You're Jesse.
Hello.
I'm talking to Luke. Where are you, Luke?
Yeah, if there was a Luke out there, some guy in the audience is like, my name's Luke.
And I'm your father.
Yeah, it's weird.
Clearly.
This is how you
Just deal with it.
Luke, this entire show has been to tell you, your dad's here, Luke.
I'm here.
Yeah.
After all these years. Okay, so I don't really have that many more questions.
Okay.
But here's a question I just came up with out of the blue because you've been in the industry a long time, kind of like me.
Yes. Yeah.
Have you been to every E3 since you've got to LA? Gone?
Almost.
moved
Yes.
to LA?
Almost every single one.
Okay. What are your thoughts on the hoopla that's happening around?
On no PlayStation, no Jeff.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that things change. E3 was not what it was 25 years ago.
Yeah,
It's
it
not what it
evolves.
was 10 years ago. Since I started going and what it is now, it is not the same thing. I think that it's fine if it isn't the same thing. And
So it's not for worse necessarily.
I have no
It's just
clue.
evolved.
Yeah, I think they need to evolve. I don't think they've done anything. As a person who had all of his information released last year,
You were part of the dog.
oh yeah, that was fun.
sucks.
Here's the thing,
That's a bummer.
it happens. So everyone's like, "You can change your phone." I'm like, nah,
No.
I'm good.
I'll just
I'm
block
alright.
your number.
Yeah, I don't care that
Does
much.
that even work?
Maybe.
I always thought it'd be easy, like just, I'll put my number out there. I'll just block the people that have my number.
Yeah, I'm just a dude on the internet, so I'm not too concerned. But yeah, there was. I think they just need to change.
Yeah.
But it's up to them to do it. And I think sometimes in life you need a push. And I feel like no Jeff, no PlayStation, more people being like, something's wrong, hopefully means that they will change.
Yeah.
It's kind of like their intervention.
A little bit.
Fingers crossed.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And what do you think? Okay, do you have any ideas on what should change? First of all, were you cool with having it be open to the public?
I mean, it was
That was my
fine.
bad, folks.
It was fine to be open to the public. It's been years since I've actually been on the show floor of E3.
Yeah.
But I heard it was a mess. I feel like if they're going to do stuff like that, they need to kind of figure out what's what.
Yeah.
But most of the time, I'm just in the rooms up above,
Yeah.
running between meetings, which is just a delight.
Just a delight. So
Yeah.
you do gameplay stuff while you're there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Capturing. People invite you to all these
It's
wonderful things.
somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they still do. Yeah, it's
Don't
great.
know why.
Still don't
kidding.
Still don't know why. You and me are on the same page. I don't know, but I'm like, all right.
I have a question from one of our crew members.
Yes.
What's the best part about being a nerd today?
Well, TV Colin.
Yeah. He's here, by the way.
Well, the best question about being the best part
Yeah.
of being a nerd today is it is societally acceptable.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. You go
And now
back.
they're making Sonic movies and all sorts of things.
Yeah, I think if you're old enough, you remember a time when it was like, I play my Super Nintendo in private.
Yeah, nobody knows this about it.
Yeah, and I think if you go back further than me, you know when people were just like, Dungeons and Dragons is a gateway to Satan. And now it's the #1 thing being streamed.
Yeah.
So I don't know, either it's more acceptable or we're all going to hell.
Oh man. On that note,
Be true.
yeah. On that note, okay. On that note, I want to say thank you for coming on the show.
My pleasure.
Yeah, super great. You can come on anytime if
you.
if you want to come plug something else, another one of your crazy productions.
I will have more.
Yeah, perfect. I'm excited to find out what those are, and I'm excited to play your game actually. February 25th.
Yeah, it's coming out soon.
That's real soon.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else that you want people to catch you on, watch you on, follow you on?
Hey, I'm Jesse Cox everywhere. I'm gonna camera. I'm Jesse Cox everywhere. So
You nabbed those handles.
I got them all. The only one I'm not is Instagram, because that's notorious COX, because why not? But everything's Jesse Cox on the Tweetster, on the YouTubes, on the Twitches, on the whatever.
Lovely.
On every platform. Even that new stuff, the one that just came out that's like fake Vine.
So fake TikTok.
No, not TikTok.
Fake Vine?
Fake Vine, the new one.
Do tell.
already a
I am
new
not
Vine.
familiar with
Yes,
this.
like Blooper or whatever it's called. Someone will know.
Blooper?
It has a weird name.
Blipper.
And everyone was like, you gotta get on there. And I was
It's
like,
gonna
oh.
blow up.
So now that's on my phone
what
too.
they
I've
all
not
say.
used it once. So
Do you
yeah.
do TikTok stuff? On the subject?
I watch it. I don't do
watch
it.
it too.
I'm not cool enough to do TikToks. Some of them are genius, and I'm like, ooh, I am an idiot.
You're like, I'm not even close to that.
No, I am not.
I liked Vine. I don't know if it's close to that. It's somewhat similar.
Vine was a great platform. It's nice to see what people could do with just a few seconds. I think that's brilliant.
It's great.
Yeah. And
Short form content. It's people's attention spans are just ever shrinking.
Damn kids.
Damn kids. So before we sign you off, can you sign our swear jar?
I would love to. Where should I
Okay.
sign this?
Anywhere you'd like. I have colors for you, and you did not swear, so congratulations.
I try.
You did great.
Who has sweared?
Mainly me.
Mainly Kyle and myself.
Pretty much me, yeah.
No, we've had like maybe one swear. I want to say one from a guest. Does anyone remember? No? remember. You signed it.
Greg swore.
Oh, I mean, that
Greg
sounds
swore.
right.
There you go.
That sounds correct.
Yeah.
to
Have you
me.
been on his shows?
No.
He's up in SF.
I mean, he's a coward. He won't have me on because he knows I spit truth.
You're the truth master.
Yeah. He knows I'll speak illy of some of the Batman, Superman movies. He can't handle it.
Can't handle the truth.
You know, it's a shame.
Well, I look forward to seeing what your next project is, Jesse.
Thank you.
And you've been wonderful.
I have been
I wish
rubbing your desk.
It's
The
such a
entire-
nice.
I can't
it's
stop.
leather or pleather or whatever.
I just realized this entire time for an hour I've just been like,
Are you on drugs?
I know, but rewind that video. It may look like it.
It may look like
Just
you
like,
Thanks again.
Thank you.
I'll look forward to the next time you're on our show, or I'm on something that you are on, because that's how we met. Remember?
Yeah.
Dick and Sandri back in the day.
way back when.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in to our Friday show. Of course, we'll be back next Friday with another special guest. TBD on that. Check my social channels. Be sure to follow Jesse Cox. To everyone out there who is celebrating Valentine's Day, remember to love you, to hang out with you, because that's just as worth celebrating. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'll see you guys next week.
Look at